For weeks after Kira arrived, the Wayward Inn had become less like a residency and more like a romantic stalemate with plumbing. The Wayward Inn now had 3 women pretending not to compete for Kai, which meant every hallway had become a courtroom with better lighting.
For the record, today is going to be normal. I am saying it out loud so the house can hear me and maybe become embarrassed.
Then the crystal in the garden flagstones answered Kai with a rapid silver shiver. It did not sound like a guest this time. It sounded small, bright, and impatient.
That is a child. The pulse is asking us to be soft, which is apparently not the same as asking us to be dignified.
Define child. Also define why everyone looked at me when she said dignified.
A small guest should be greeted with calm ritual. I will prepare several calm rituals and select the least alarming.
Before Kai could object to reflexes as a personality, the old phone rang. Tanaka's office had perfect timing, which was one of the more sinister things about government.
Mr. Nakamura, the resident is 6 years old, half-axolotl, and her name is Momo. She is coming through the koi pond, and she is not to be treated as a tactical romantic opportunity by anyone in your house.
I hate that you said tactical. I hate more that I know exactly who made that sentence necessary.
Kai filled a shallow ceramic bowl with fresh water and put it on the kitchen table. He moved it left, moved it right, and then decided the bowl was emotionally judging him. At dawn, the garden looked staged by 3 women who would later swear they had not staged it. Yuki was radiant on the bench, Tsuki stood under the cherry tree like a formal shrine, and Kira waited on the stone wall with the expression of someone who had accidentally dressed for victory.
Why is everyone dressed like the pond is conducting interviews? Please tell me the pond is not conducting interviews.
Kai, a child should arrive somewhere beautiful. If I happen to be part of that beauty, that is simply good hosting.
I am not auditioning for anything. I am just positioned where a responsible adult with excellent reflexes would naturally be.
I have prepared a greeting concerning the bath fixtures. Children respect infrastructure when infrastructure is presented with confidence.
The pond broke with a sound like a leaf settling on glass. Gerald surfaced first, as if even the fish understood the value of a proper entrance. He made one slow circle, stately and orange-white in the morning light. In the center of it, the water lifted around a small pink shape. Momo pulled herself onto the flagstones with rainbow hair dripping over her face, axolotl gills fluttering softly at her neck, and a worm jar clutched with serious purpose. She looked at the entire household and seemed to accept, instantly, that adults were complicated.
Hello? Are you Kai? I am very small, but I brought my worms.
I am Kai, yes. Welcome to the inn, Momo, and welcome also to the worms.
All 4 adults moved at once. Kai reached for a towel, Yuki sat in the wet grass, Tsuki opened her parasol with ceremonial danger, and Kira nearly fell off the wall pretending she had not hurried.
You came up beautifully, sweetheart. Kai, isn't she lovely in exactly the way this house was missing?
Welcome, esteemed small one. The bath was refurbished in 1962, and I can personally vouch for the brass taps.
The bath! I just came out of the pond.
Tsuki, maybe start with high. A small high, without plumbing history attached.
Hi. I will save the taps for a more emotionally mature moment.
You have a tail. Mine is different, but that still feels important.
It is for swimming. Yours looks like it is for knocking things off shelves.
Imagine if she were ours. Kai. Tail and tail. A household silhouette with real balance.
Do not say ours like you are assembling furniture with my name on the box. That is not a family plan.
I'm sorry, ours. Hypothetically, she has rainbow hair, Kira, and I do not see your contribution. Also, If we are pretending to be parents for no reason, someone should mention bedtime stories, emotional memory, and a lap with adequate tail support, for purely practical reasons.
The silhouette would be improved by a parasol. I am not competing, I am correcting composition.
Please can everyone stop designing a family around the child who arrived 90 seconds ago? That sentence should not need to exist.
Are you arguing about me? That is all right, but I do not know the rules yet.
Yes, a little. Sorry, we are not very good at pretending not to want things.
Mrs. Cho arrived with a tray at exactly the moment Kai began considering whether the pond accepted adults as returns. She looked at the three women, looked at Momo, and chose the only person in the garden behaving her age.
Honey toast, tea, and grapes cut in half, because she is 6. Move, all of you. Parental theater blocks the light.
Thank you. The worms do not need toast because they are in a jar and have opinions.
Mrs. Cho respected the jar, asked for the worms' names, and somehow made the question feel like formal diplomacy. Momo accepted this with the gravity of a 6-year-old who had been waiting for someone to understand protocol.
The big one is Cyril. The medium one is Bertie, and the small one is daughter of Bertie. Sometimes they are pets and sometimes breakfast, but they take turns.
That is fairer than most committees I have seen. Kai, breathe through your nose and stop looking hunted.
10 feet away, the 3 residents watched Momo eat honey toast with the controlled intensity of rivals observing a sacred ceremony. None of them were watching Kai, which meant all of them were watching Kai. From Momo's side of the table, the adults looked like 3 beautiful warning signs. Yuki smiled too sweetly, Kira stood too ready, and Tsuki held still with the alarming confidence of an umbrella near paperwork.
I have raised children before, many of them impressive. If Kai needs a bedtime story reader with a soothing voice, I am prepared to sit very close and demonstrate.
Children have changed since your century. They climb faster now, and I have the reflexes to keep one alive without making it weird.
Yuki and Kira turned the garden path into a debate stage. Both of them claimed to be discussing childcare, but each sentence somehow circled back to who would look better beside Kai at a school meeting.
I have not raised any children, but I am steady, clean, and excellent with schedules. Also, a household benefits from one settled romantic pairing, statistically.
Tsuki, your first offer to the child was a lecture about taps. You cannot parent with bathroom trivia and cheekbones.
I am going inside. I am saying that because fleeing silently would look worse.
Kai, wait. With the 5 of us around the table, wouldn't this make a lovely picture? I am not implying anything improper. I am simply letting the picture speak.
A family. There, I said it. And now everyone can stop circling the word.
The umbrella is not the only thing about me open to a long-term arrangement. That was subtle in my head before I said it.
The family word is doing a lot of damage right now. I would like it placed gently on the ground and walked away from.
Are they all going to live here? I am asking because they are all looking at you like snack time.
Yes, they live here. The looking is unrelated to snacks and also not my fault.
Are they all your wives? Mrs. Tanaka did not put that in the file.
Kai's face performed the word no with no sound at all. Unfortunately, the 3 women saw the panic and each mistook it for an opening. The garden became dangerously quiet. Yuki's tails lifted, Kira's ears went sharp, and Tsuki looked as if a legal door had opened somewhere beautiful.
I am not on this rota, sweetheart. I am here to cut grapes and watch Kai learn consequences.
The argument resolved into a Rota because a Rota allowed each woman to privately believe she had one. Yuki took the story column, Kira claimed adventure, and Tsuki stared at quiet time as if it were a marriage proposal.
Story time requires warmth, memory, and a lap with excellent tail support. This is not flirting, Kai. This is curriculum.
Adventure means climbing, ponds, and knowing when adults are lying. I can teach all three before breakfast.
Quiet time should include bathing guidance, parasol care, and not touching brass taps with jam hands. I am flexible, but not about jam.
Mrs. Cho, please tell me there is an adult version of a fire blanket for situations where everyone is being too charming at once. I am asking as a man losing jurisdiction.
The Rota filled with 3 kinds of handwriting and one growing sense that Momo had become the household's most honest mirror. Kai pinned it to the fridge like a man pinning down a storm cloud.
I am adding an override clause. It says I may override the Rota at any time with grapes, common sense, or disappointment.
Below that, Mrs. Cho added a second line in sharper handwriting. Momo is not a marketing opportunity. 3 adult women read it and discovered several innocent places to look.
What is a marketing opportunity? Is it like when Cyril sits in the front of the jar so everyone thinks he is the big one?
Kai pinned the Rota where everyone could see it and immediately regretted creating a public scoreboard. The pear magnet had never carried this much emotional liability.
I understand the clause. I do. I merely resent how accurately it was phrased.
I was reading the shopping list. If my eyes happened to pause on the sentence about not using Momo to win Kai, that was a coincidence.
I did not need the clause. I needed maybe 70% of the clause.
Later, Kai opened Hana's old guestbook and wrote Momo's name beneath the others. Just Momo, no designation, no explanation, no attempt to make a child carry an adult's category.
Did you know about her, Hana? Or were you writing advice for the version of me who would be surrounded by beautiful disasters?
In the margin, Hana had written a note Kai had never noticed, and mind the women. They will all want to play house. Be steady about that, too.
You knew. 30 years ago, somehow, you knew I would need instructions for supernatural wife auditions. Okay, Hana. I will be steady. I may complain the entire time, but I will be steady.
On the bench by the cherry tree, the performance finally cooled. For the first time that day, Yuki, Tsuki, and Kira watched Momo without using her as a mirror for Kai.
She is very small. I forgot for a moment that wanting to look kind is not the same as being kind.
I liked when she said my tail was for shelves. I am angry that she was accurate.
Kira almost asked Yuki whether Kai looked relieved when he said steady. Yuki refused the question before it became words, and both of them smiled because rivalry was easier when nobody was lying about it. Momo returned to the pond edge because the pond was where she felt correctly sized. Gerald circled near her with the solemn patience of a fish who had already decided she belonged.
He is your friend. He told me by letting me touch the water near him.
He is a fish. Also, yes, he is my friend, and I would prefer no one announce that loudly.
The next morning there were 5 cups by the kitchen window, one of them a small pink cup with water instead of tea. No one discussed who had placed it there, because everyone knew and Mrs. Cho was pretending not to smile.
Bertie likes it here. Daughter of Bertie is considering it, but she is new.
Then we will give daughter of Bertie time. Around here, apparently everyone gets to arrive slowly.
That night, Momo slept beside the pond with her worm jar tucked close and Gerald watching from the dark water. Inside, 3 women read the Rota again and found, to their irritation, that Mrs. Cho's handwriting was still correct. The Wayward Inn had gained a child, a Rota, and a new household rule: nobody gets to use Momo to win Kai. Unfortunately for Kai, That still left everyone free to try winning Kai directly.
Piano, gentle synth pad, distant chime. 3 quick flashes, 1 slow glow. Acoustic guitar, light brush drums, 1 female lead. Kai inherited the keys at 23. A garden flagstone where the crystal breeze. Hana's navy book on the hallway shelf says you'll be steady, just be yourself. Piano builds, soft strings rise. The right kind of strange for the right kind of place. Just full particular and held in grace. Full band kicks in, ringing electric guitar. Anthemic, shy pop time and city pop tempo. Welcome to the Liminal Inn, where the lonely strangers slip right in. You don't have to understand, just open up and hold out your hand. Under Hana's light, we let them in at the Liminal Inn. Guitar, piano, vocal stays bright. Yuki fell from somewhere past the moon. Tsuki rose from a bath like a tune. Kira came through pipes, furious and wild. Minda carped Gerald and refused to smile. Drink swell, snare build, the right kind of strange for the right kind of place. Some doors are stranger, but they all have a face. Full band keylets, vocal harmonies on the hook. Welcome to the Liminal Inn, where the lonely strangers slip right in. You don't have to understand, just open up and hold out your hand. Under Hana's light, we let them in at the Liminal Inn. Oh, 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 oh. Half time, soft strings and piano intermid vocal misses. Cho brings tea that could wake the dead. Some things are better written, never said. The disc keeps counting and the kettle stays on. We're particular, full and we belong. Oh, full band returns, biggest lift, gang vocals on last line. Welcome to the Liminal Inn, where the lonely strangers slip right in. You don't have to understand, just open up and hold out your hand. Under Hana's light, we let them in at the Liminal Inn. At the Liminal Inn. Piano fades, single chime, water dripping. 3 quick flashes, a long held silence, 1 slow flash.